I'm calling this meeting to order. This is a special meeting of the Redmond City Council on Tuesday, May 21st, 2024, commencing at 6:30 p.m. Council members in attendance are Councilmember Stewart, Council Vice President Forsyth, Councilmember Fields, Councilmember Salahuddin, and Councilmember Nueva Camina online. I'll announce Councilmember Anderson hopefully when she arrives, and myself, Council President Kritzer. This special meeting is being held to interview the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee candidate, Rashid Khannan, and Jackie Leller, our staff liaison to the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee, will introduce the candidate.
I can't get it green. It's okay. Good evening, Council. I'm pleased to introduce Rashid Khannan for your consideration to serve on the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee, also known as the LTAC. Per state RCW, the LTAC is charged with making recommendations to the Council on how to invest lodging tax funds to attract visitors to Redmond. As an additional reminder, the City of Redmond's membership is limited to 3 hotelier positions and 3 fund recipients or event organizers. There is also a council chair that sits on the committee. If approved, Rashid will serve his first 4-year term with an expiration date of March 31, 2028, and he will fill open hotel position number 2. Mr. Khannan is currently the general manager of both the Aloft and Element hotels. He has been in the hospitality industry for nearly 20 years and currently sits on the Tourism Promotion Board, also known as the TPA Board. Mr. Khannan has held past TPA Board positions as well. I believe his extensive hospitality background, TPA Board position, and his willingness to serve will be a wonderful addition to the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee. I will now turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Khannan, would you like to say anything about your interest in this position and a little bit about yourself in your own words?
Well, thank you for having me here today. I have been at the Redmond properties for about a year. And since I've been at those properties, as involved as I can be with the community. Before that, I was in Linwood for probably about 5 years, and I was involved in the TPA committee there. But very excited. My background is in hospitality. I grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada, so I've worked at some hotels. So good experience, but like I said, excited to be here.
Thank you so much, and thank you for volunteering to serve. Are there questions from the council? Council Vice President Forsyth.
Thank you. Excited for you to bring your experience to this position. Also lived in Vegas, so we'll have to chat later. I'd love to hear, from your perspective, the TPA and the LTAC, how you see those roles informing each other, any potential conflicts for what each board does differently, just how you see that playing out.
I don't really see any conflict with it, with the TPA and being involved with One Redmond. I think that's a little bit of a split where I'd love to kind of learn and also have my 2 cents in, also with the $2.50 tax that we charge all the guests that are there every night. So I don't believe it'd be a conflict. I think it'd be more of a separate commitment, but also they do tie in together. I mean, they are involved in what we're trying to do in the community, so.
Thank you. Did you have a follow-up question?
I'm good.
Okay, great. Councilmember Stewart.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khannan, for applying to serve in this role and joining the LTAC. One of the things that stood out to me about your experience is that you actually not just will represent hoteliers in the city of Redmond, but you actually represent a hotel property that is not in the downtown urban core, but is in our other urban center up in Overlake that's got a light rail station right next to it now, and Redmond's newest park. And I just wondered about a little bit about your experience and how that might inform your work on the LTAC, because you do represent a slightly different hotel property base than maybe more traditionally than we've had on the LTAC. How is your experience of being a hotel in the Overlake Village Urban Center versus being downtown, and what does that bring to the table for you? Excuse me.
Yes, so it would be nice to be in the middle of downtown with all the restaurants and movie theater and all that, but we are right next to Microsoft. We do a lot of business with them. We do a lot of meetings with them. We do a lot of receptions. We were not a big part, but a part in the opening on April 27th of the Overlake Light Rail, and it was pretty amazing to see not so much any guests, but just the locals kind of coming from every street right into the light rail. And, we did a face painting for kids. We, had a big tent set up. We did, snacks, all kinds of different things. So the part that I'm excited about is, we are a little bit further away from downtown, but there are a lot of locals, obviously, that are excited, in that area. And there's, honestly, a lot of construction in that area, too. So there's a lot of things being built about 3 blocks down. My excitement about the committee is it's not really just, what can I get as a hotel person? We need weekend business, the usual. But it's really just partnering up with the community and, just being there for locals, whether it's the apartment buildings next door that we get business from, whether, their parents are coming in. But for us, it's mostly Microsoft.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing. And you're right. Your hotel is not the only one planned for the area. And so in the course of your term, there'll be some interesting developments, and you'll have a unique perspective, I think, on the committee. So thanks for volunteering.
Thank you. Are there other questions? Councilmember Fields.
Thank you, and thanks for stepping into this. I'll go to the heart of my question, then I'm going to explain the question. The question is, it's really difficult to travel. It's a lot of work, actually. And people do it for a variety of reasons, sometimes recreation, sometimes, as you point out, Microsoft Business. But in general, to meet that goal of attracting people to Redmond, what do you believe that people, why do they travel? Since it's so much work. And what can we do to meet that purpose?
Well, I think it depends on what, we have different kind of segments that we follow on our hotel, whether it's business travel or leisure or, Smurf business on the weekends, So it really depends. It depends on what's in your area that's going to bring them there. So for us, it's Microsoft. So we get a lot of, business travel. We get a lot of third-party vendors for Microsoft. Where we put in a lot of effort is on the weekends, and that's developing relationships within the community for sports teams, religious, kind of the whole sect. So it really depends on, what you're traveling for. It could be just parents coming up from Seattle to see their, children that work at Microsoft that are staying in the apartments next door. Or what we're hoping for is people coming to Redmond just for the weekend, or doing a wine package, or, doing taste of Redmond, or doing, just ideas that we've been kind of throwing back and forth. But within our 5-mile radius, we try to do our best to partner up with some local businesses, and that's not really attracting people to come to the hotels, but then at the same time, we're building relationships so that we can work together. So if someone is coming and they, would like to try a certain type of food, oh, you guys should go over here. This is a perfect place. It really depends. I know for us, since we are kind of on the outskirts, it's really about weekends. During the week, we're, very lucky. We're sold out every night. And then as soon as Thursday hits, it drops off. And we're thinking, okay, are there any sports teams coming up in the next couple months? Or, soccer tournaments. I mean, ECNL is a huge tournament in July. Crossfire and hockey on, in the winter. So everybody travels for different reasons. It's really on us to kind of latch on to why they're traveling, build a relationship, and then, try to bring them to our hotel compared to somewhere else.
So, and I told you I would explain why I asked that question.
Okay.
So, and you described the sort of a reaction to why people travel. But we're in this crossroads on this committee, and we're trying to expand the attractiveness of Redmond. We're trying to reach new purposes for coming here. And I think we have to make decisions about who do we, as you point out, we partner with the wineries and some other things. So part of the work right now is being creative and being imaginative and trying to identify what Redmond can offer. And so that's some of the work that you'll be facing, not just making accommodating people who already know why they're coming here. We want people to come here who don't know why they're going to come here.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. And it really is the marketing of whether it's bicycle trails or different restaurants or the different breweries. But I'm a big believer in, we're hotels, we're interested in room nights. We have a lot of reports that we have to answer to higher ups about, items like that. But it really is the community side of it and building those relationships and then taking, whatever money is from the LTAC into marketing and different things to actually show what is in the area, because it's a beautiful area. So
Perfect. Thank you.
Councilmember Salahuddin.
Yeah, thank you. And just to sort of piggyback off of Councilmember Fields' question, but specifically, asking about your experience, what drew you to Redmond? What interested you the most about being a part of this community and in this specific role?
Well, I got to be honest. It wasn't Redmond that interested me. It was a promotion from Courtyard in North Seattle to being a dual complex, general manager. So selfishly, it was like, yeah, this is amazing. I'm very excited. But once I kind of got into the community, I was saying it earlier, it's exciting just to travel around and just kind of explore so that when I am talking to people, I can give them an actual detailed description of whatever they're asking about. So, like I said, it wasn't Redmond that brought me here, but I seem to find myself on the weekends just, I'll do my shopping at Fred Meyer's in Redmond. I just want to check it out, want to see what's going on, and just, especially when it's a nice day out, just seeing all the people walking around in downtown and getting to know all the different local businesses, whether it's Minutemen, printing, or sneaking away to go grab a sandwich at Homegrown. It's just a very cool town, so.
Well, you're definitely flattering us with the very cool town remarks. So this is exciting. Councilmember Stewart?
We actually have a representative of our marketing firm for tourism in the audience, and I'm just making sure he got that quote. So.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to ask my question since I don't see Councilmember Nueva Camino with a question, but I'll leave it open in case she wants to jump in after mine. So given your experience also sort of serving on a TPA looking at tourism in Linwood, I guess I'm just curious to know, what do you see as some things that might be lessons learned from working kind of in a similar, obviously it's not an LTAC, but, similar types of brainstorming around how you use funds to be able to promote tourism. What do you think are some things we might learn from other areas in the region of good ideas?
Well, one thing that we did a lot on the TPA in Linwood is we would have different events that would show up for grants. And a lot of the time, some of them were really good, and they did bring, hotel nights to the area. Linwood is kind of split in kind of two areas, and I've worked on both sides. You have near the Alderwood Mall, which is very developed, lots of restaurants, movie theaters, a lot of things to do. Then you have the other side of Linwood by 44th Avenue, which is right off the highway, which is, still under construction with the light rail, and it's been a long time. So there's a different feel to it. So when we would get applications for grants, sometimes some of the events really weren't going to bring any people into the area that are not from the area. So that was one thing that I kind of learned just going through the process is, it's nice to be able to have a completely nice area. And when you're dealing with different events that are coming to the city, are they really going to bring people to Redmond or to Linwood? Or is it just locals that are going to go to a fair? And it'd be, it's great for locals, but it really doesn't do much for the local businesses. So that's one thing I kind of made that distinction, so.
Thank you. Any other questions? Councilmember Nova Camina.
Hi, good evening. My question was, now that you're starting to get to know kind of the things that we're looking to, or larger events that will be happening regionally, and how we would like to attract people in that 50 plus miles away, is there anything in particular that you're very excited about where you're like, oh yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun to work on, or I really hope that we get a piece of this?
Within kind of where our hotel is, the light rail was that for us, and we were just talking about it earlier. I thought it would take a few months to kind of take off, but I mean, there's a lot of people walking in and out of there, a lot of foot traffic. I know that there are some construction projects going on a little further down, but for us, honestly, it was the light rail, and I don't really think that with the light rail, we've kind of seen what it can become yet. So that's what we're really excited about, and we want a piece of it, and we're literally on the doorstep. So that's why we partnered up with the city, and we did try to be as involved as we could within it, because we just have that belief that it's really going to be kind of a lifeline or a vein to just more business. And some of it's local, some of it's from outside. So that for us, it was the light rail.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you so much. And assuming no major objections, I believe that you'll be on the next business meeting on consent. Is everyone, any objections to that? Okay. So we'll see you, and if you like on that meeting, I think you'll have the opportunity to be sworn in as well, assuming that you get all the yes votes. So
All right, well, I
thank
appreciate
you so
it.
much for volunteering.
Thank you guys for having me. Yes.
Yeah. Take care. And with that, this meeting is adjourned.